Hello, this Christian Crusader 96. Well, this video will act as a message to all atheists on YouTube and the rest of the internet. This includes all forums for atheists, all places where atheists congregate, everywhere to do with atheists. This video is a message. I have seen atheists on the internet for a long time now. I was born in Pretoria, Gauteng, South Africa. I have been a young earth creationist all my life, and in this country it is very Christian. And when I started going on the internet, I was looking around and I thought the world would be Christian. But I discovered, there is firstly other religions such as Judaism I don't like. Islam is okay. I agree with some of the principles of Islam. So Muslim brothers, bless you. But to all the atheists, you guys, your ignorance is astounding. Your evidence that you give me when I asked you, give me some evidence, they use the Big Bang first off. Everything needs a creator except God, because God is the eternal being. Now they say that for their eternal being, they say it is matter that has always been there that made the Big Bang. Matter is not real. Matter is a scientific lie.
Matter is not real? Wait, matter is not real? You seriously are just claiming that matter is a scientific lie? I'm hoping this kid is just a really, really clever troll, because I have never heard something so stupid. Even this geocentrism. In the 21st century, it has been proven that the Earth is not the center of the universe. But then again, there are still people that believe it, and that the Earth is flat, which sadly is true. Which sadly, people actually do believe. But matter is not true. I can put my hand up. I can move around. I can hit against a wall over here. I can just go. Those properties, I can move it. I have all these muscles in it. But what is my hand made of? What are the muscles in my hand made of? What are the bones in my hand made of? They are made of They are made of atoms of different elements, mostly carbon. But what are those atoms? Matter. That is science. It's not a lie. What would you say it would be? God's sperm or whatever? Is it magical parts of God that have been shaped into a human? No, it's matter. Sorry. Next off. Atheists are the ones that have to prove that God doesn't exist? You're sadly mistaken, my friend. Because when you make a claim, you have to back that up. Try that in court. Try saying, this person over here is the one that killed the victim. My evidence? Prove that he didn't kill the victim. That's not really gonna happen. It's not going to work. Proving that he didn't. That the suspect killed the victim. You don't disprove it. You have to prove that he was there at the time, that he had the means to kill him, and that he had a motive to kill him, or the victim. And it's just boggling that you just make these claims, that you go and say the atheist has to provide the evidence why God doesn't exist. When it's backwards. You, as the Christian, to prove that your God exists. It's the skeptic's job to question that and everything. Scientists always play a skeptic at one point or another in theories. You always ask questions.
They're too afraid to admit they don't know. They use the real creator was God, okay? God was there all along, and God has created everything. So,
wow, some argument. I say God exists. So God must exist. Wow, what a great argument. Maybe I can use that for my Tyrannosaurus Rex, so I can say, hey, my Tyrannosaurus Rex exists. Why? Because I say he does. Proves it instantly. I hope you know that's sarcasm, right? I mean, that's not even a real argument whatsoever. That saying that this God exists. I mean, you can make the same about anything. Like I said, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. And what you said that scientists are too afraid to admit. Why did I do this? I feel like an idiot. Scientists are always willing to admit when they don't know something. Yes, there may be some that try to forge evidence for something, like you, trying to forge evidence for God, if that's even considered forgery. Trying to make it so there is some sort of evidence for you, like the creationists you normally do. But, well, in this case, I think you're just plain making stuff out. You're just pulling stuff out of your ass as you go. But scientists are always willing to say, yes, we don't know what this is. I mean, we don't know what triggered the Big Bang. All we know is that it occurred 13.4 to 13.7 billion years ago, somewhere around that area. That's what we know, and that can be seen from evidence from telescopes. I believe it was the Hubble Space Telescope that saw images of the universe at when it was 300,000 years old, when it was still just gas, before stars had developed, before all of this matter had cooled down. You should actually look into some of these things. I mean, they're not in your Bible, but I mean, you can still actually look into them. There's something called the internet.
Well, he's my creator. I love him. And when I see people being ignorant on the fucking forums, on the web, on YouTube, I just get pissed off, because atheists know nothing about the world we live in. Most of them are just rebellious teenagers and young men who are depressed in their life and just plain idiots who cannot accept the truth that there is a God.
All atheists are not depressed. We don't suffer our atheism, as some say. I'm personally a happy person. I enjoy life. I read a lot. I love school. That's why I'm going to college. College at 16. I started in August, September. I haven't found out my schedule yet. My orientation's in a few days, so I'll find out then. But I enjoy life. I have friends that I hang out with a lot. I have loving parents that take care of me, that love and care for me. And I find this quite interesting that you go and claim this all of a sudden. Religion is very oppressive. It says and it has a list of what not to do's that along to what you can do. The can do's. I find this quite ridiculous. And it's not even based off of anything. It's just a statement. You're not supporting anything saying, oh, there's an 80% depression rate with an atheist. Yes, there are atheists that are depressed. A lot of Christians that are depressed. Muslims that are depressed. Jews that are depressed. Religion doesn't affect your depression whatsoever. All it does is just sort you out into different groups of people that are depressed.
You just have not found him yet. I have found God all my life, and God has blessed me in great ways. He has blessed my family. He has blessed South Africa, because apartheid ended, and now it's fair for everyone, blacks, whites, and yeah. So he has blessed me. But he has not blessed you atheists, because you have not found him. So you've had bad lives, and you say God's not real because of that. You need to find God first. I
do believe that you in South Africa have been blessed by a God, that good things have happened. Especially since you ironically turn around and look at all those video games you have. Just pile after pile after pile. I find it quite ironic, as a Christian, you're supposed to be meek and humble, like you, Jesus. You're supposed to follow in his footsteps, and yet you have more video games than I do. I have maybe 15, 20 for my PS2, my Xbox 360, and my Sega. My Sega I haven't even had out in years. I don't play too many video games on consoles anymore, but that's beside the point. And then you go and say that atheists have not been blessed, that we have horrible lives, that we are miserable. Incorrect. I'm not like a millionaire, but I'm not a poor man. I'm middle class in the United States. We all have our own laptops in my house, which we use a lot. We don't go and just look up stupid cat videos. We just go. My parents sometimes play games. So will I. I'll usually be on YouTube refuting people like you. I find it quite surprising that all these things that you claimed, that we're all depressed, that we haven't blessed by God. The reason why I don't follow your religion is because I don't believe in it. I find religion to be quite hypocritical. There are many contradictions in the Bible, which you can find in the Thinking Atheist websites and under refuting the Bible. And personally, I'm not ignorant about religion. I haven't read the whole Bible. I haven't read the whole Quran. I haven't read the Torah, which is basically the Old Testament Bible. I have gotten a hold of a Quran at my local library, but I haven't gotten to read it yet. I'm hoping to read that soon, at least parts of it. But yeah, I'm not seeing where you're coming from at all.
First, okay? So yeah, This video is basically saying to atheists, clean up your shit or I will take you off the internet by, number one, taking down the forums, taking down the YouTube videos by using flagging methods, and yeah, because I'm sick of atheist ignorance. So atheists, please reply to me and tell me, firstly, how God isn't real, and secondly, if you are going to, leave the internet, or I can use force. First, I'm fluent in JavaScript and about 3 other text hacking languages, and I am capable of hacking basically any machine. So yeah, the atheists, I will begin taking you down. I'm not going to say the date, but I'll give you amount of time to sort yourselves out, as many of you as possible, or shit will go down, as the term is. So God bless all the Christians and the Muslims, and to all the atheists and non-believers, fuck you guys. The time has come for, God told me to do this. God told me that I have to sort out the Christians from the atheists on the internet. Atheists do not deserve the internet, and that's my opinion, and that is God's opinion. Thank you, and I expect a prompt response from the atheist.
I find his little ultimatum to be adorable, yet kind of scary at the same time. Not because he might actually be able to do it, although he probably can't. For coding languages and the proclaimed ability to hack any machine you want, I don't believe that at all. But the fact that he's just so proud about it, the fact that he's part of my generation, and how a lot of people think like him, that atheists don't deserve the website, don't deserve the internet. Sorry, they don't deserve to be able to use free speech. They don't deserve to be on the internet discussing religion. That we should tread around religion. We should not be allowed to talk about it. I find this quite scary, especially how proud he is. And he goes on to say that he will give us a certain amount of time, and it's a time to get off to clean up our shit, as it were. But he never ends up doing that, because Reddit, our atheism is still up, Godless Geeks is still up, Atheist.org is still up, The Thinking Atheist is still up, and all the YouTube channels are still up. So I've not seen anything he has done. Obviously, he doesn't know how much time and manpower it takes to hack even just one website, let alone dozens, if not hundreds, of websites and channels on YouTube. Obviously, doesn't know how much manpower that would take. Often, if you take down a website, unless you get into an administrator's account, you have to usually be on the site of the server to get into the actual server itself and wreak havoc with the website. So unless he figures out how to do dictionary attack and gets a admin's username somehow and is able to get into that system, I'm doubtful they're going to do any damage. Usually they're very cleverly hit. It's usually very hard to go and do things like that. Even with all that, even if he had dozens, if not hundreds of others helping him, it'd be very hard to clean up our shit, as it were. And I hate how he goes and basically says that we can't have free speech, that free speech should not be allowed to atheists. That is basically what he is saying, and I find it quite offensive, especially considering how secular the rest of the world is starting to become. And now there are people like him still trying to go and pull us back into the dark ages, just because he's just because he does not want to look outside of his little world that he's always been used to. I find it disgusting that he wants us all to go and conform to his little worldview. I'm not forcing anyone in my worldview on anyone else, and I never will. But I find it disgusting that he thinks that he is right no matter what and gives no reason but his own opinion. And I find it quite interesting how he says that his opinion is the same as God's opinion, that the atheists don't deserve the internet. If God's talking to you, that's not God, that's schizophrenia. You might want to get that checked out. And I love how at the end he shows that Christian love by going and dropping a big F-U to the atheist community. So loving. And I hope he knows that's sarcasm. Well, I basically hope he sees this and takes it and doesn't take this down, because I actually want others to see this, see the ignorance, because it is necessary for people to see the ignorance in this. So yeah, this is the end of my response. I probably will not respond to you again unless you put up another video that is equally, well, ignorant. So, yeah, this is the end of my response.